Well, seachtain eile mithe agus chlár eile radio a techt a nachtaí déine agus tá agsúlacht ceolacht tá téama a lenacht. Another week gone and we have kind of a certain idea tonight in tonight's program. There's a lot of people sick because of the COVID-19 and there's a lot of people, everyone's locked up. So news is hard to get other than what you get off the radio and the ruling machine. And I'm aware that some people have died in recent weeks. We couldn't go to funerals. John A. Murphy's wife, Sita, for example. But one of the people that died and was buried last Wednesday was Mary Keane. And I mentioned in the radio her quite a lot tonight. We used to gather every year towards August, and an awful lot of these people are slowly dwindling and leaving us. So Mary's there with her husband Sean. That's what she looks like. Look up closer. So she was originally from Ennistimon. So on the programme tonight, that's part of the subject. So we start with Ben Lennon and Tony O'Connell. Ben Lennon and Charlie Lennon are two of the great Irish musicians from the West, and there's always something lovely and sweet about their music and their family also, and they compose lovely tunes. So there's a bit of Ben Lennon in the programme tonight, and also is Pádraig McMahon, because Sean Kane is on this CD with him, and Pádraig and his mother and father Kieran and Dolly were part of this group that used to meet and when they were alive. Well, Dolly is still alive, thank God. But we go back to the early 60s and based around Ceoltóirí Chuan originally, I suppose. Remembering that in Ireland of the 60s there were very few musicians. It's not like today. And we all knew each other and there was a certain bond between us all. So I have Sean Keane's own CD, Jig It in Style, and another lad that's on that CD with Sean also passed away a year or two ago, Liam O'Flynn. And there was many adventures in the years, so it wasn't just music, there was a lot of cross-fertilisation. Like another guy that was in that group would be Gareth Brown, and there was a lot of ideas coming and going. It wasn't just music or traditional music, it was all kinds of music. There's a share of songs from another guy in that group, a cool man, Diarmuid O'Sullivan, Diarmuid Mikey, and in that set of recordings, Ceolta Wuscree, are 15 or 16 tracks that were made long ago with Sean O'Sheachan, who was the secretary of the GA in the 60s. I remember the day when he was appointed because he had been singing with my father's band Ceoltóirí Chuan, and he got the job and he had to retire from the band to take up this full-time job with the GA. But he was a Kilmarnock man and very good. And then Matt Malloy and John Carty. John Carty is based in London, was based in London, is home now, and they're a great musical family also. And that community in London and in places like Newcastle and all those places, Birmingham and so on in England, there's great Irish communities and great music all along, but particularly in the 60s and 70s, there seems to have been a great heart in there. A thriving community with Irish centres and pubs kind of finished and people gathering there. Obviously, if I'm mentioning all those people in the programme tonight, Ceoltóirí Chuan, which was kind of the kernel of that in Sean Radio, there's 2 tracks off the second concept album. There was 3 concept albums that Sean did before there was such a thing as concept albums. One of them was Racrocht and Radig in 1960 or 61, which was very formal with bits of poetry and songs and so on, mixed between the music. And then there was the second album, which was called Ding Dong, which was the music of the playing people in Irish and in English, and songs and accompanied and so on. And the third LP then was in 67, 65 maybe, Ceoln O'Sul, which was the music of the Big House, and that's where he started Sean started the whole thing about Carlin and trying to advance the cause of Irish harp music. So he went back to the Bunting manuscripts and so on and resurrected, because Sean had a great gift. When he read music, he could play it out or interpret it in what it originally was like, remembering that people like Petrie and Bunting only had the tools that they had in their own abilities at the time, and they were Western music. So they didn't. Western music doesn't contain the symbols and systems that would explain some of the stuff in Irish music. But that's another day's work. I also have some pieces of music by Trina Marshall. This is an interesting. So now here we go again. I had to answer that phone call. So back to Trina Marshall. She was a harpist with the RT Orchestra, and she's very able. She's very good. And then she went working with the Chieftains, and travelled the world. I don't know if she's still with them or not. But she's a very able harp player. So I have two pieces of hers in the program tonight. And this Niall Hanna, Autumn Winds is the name of his CD. They're all songs in English. She's capable, good singer. And I just wanted to give him a bit of a plug because he came. I have a system here. I always take, when I take CDs for the program, I always take a couple that I wouldn't have picked if I wasn't. I take them at random because I feel everyone should have a fair chance. And because all his songs are in English, he wouldn't usually get an airing on radio and great. But he has the one track which is an instrumental, so I put it on, and that gave me a chance to mention him. Niall Hanna, Autumn Winds, the name of his CD. And then there's this very capable fiddle player, Oisin Macaulay, plays with different bands and so on. The name from the CD is Far from Donegal, and there's some interesting pieces in it. He has a couple of people guesting with him, Ronan Brown and a few more, and I have three tracks of his tonight maybe. And then I used 2 tracks from Alton, but I actually took 2 different CDs. Their latest, which is the Widening Gear, I don't know if that's the right way to say that word, and then Alton's Another Sky, which is a kind of a classic CD. My other course is A Mighty Singer, and that's why I chose that. So that's the kind of team. Now, for my patron followers, I am during the weekend going to give a tour around the bookshelves and the stuff here so that you know what place I work in. And I will then play a bit of music, a new piece of music next week. So, Gudísh na Rina Washle, Gurmagif, go Tachtansa, Agus Gunailif. That's when Gudanioid and Clarlif.